Resolutions to the flag, including not like Commission of one nation under God. Thank you. Since we have a forum, let's go for the roll call.
Commission Chair Francisco Vasquez.
Present.
Commission Vice Chair Jesus Cervantes. Communicating is going to be a few moments late. Commission Secretary and Historian Joanna Eso. Commission Member Juan Duran.
Can you check for the audio so the confirmation?
Commission Vice Chair just arrived, Jesus Cervantes. Luis, excuse me, do we have Zoom connection?
Yes.
Yep.
And we don't have a quorum.
We don't have a quorum. We should have a quorum in a few moments. Ms. Joanna mentioned that she was going to join via Zoom, and Mr. Duran.
I'm here already.
Okay, well, now we have a quorum. Juan Duran. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the order. The call to the public. This is the time for the public to comment. Members of the Parks and Recreation Commission may not discuss items that are not specifically identified on the agenda. Limited to the director and staff to study the matter, responding to any criticism or discussion in the matter for further consideration and decision made. We have anyone from the public? I don't see no one, so let's move on into old business. Item number 1, Parks and Recreation Department update.
Good evening, Commission Chair, members. This is Mesa Parks and Recreation Director. We've been concentrating on budgeting for the next fiscal year. The budget process already started. We're scheduled to host meetings in February. I'm currently working on our list for CAP projects. Bigger highlights, you could say, besides our operations, is that we're concentrating on upcoming events, programming for the tentative schedule for the activities. And on the projects, we have approval to move forward with the design for the HVAC project for the community center. So that's moving forward. The design with Nicholas Engineering. Notice to proceed was forwarded on January 13th of this year. And the court project for Joe Munoz is moving forward with a possible change order to reinforce the slab and add some improvements to that project. And it should be ready in a couple of months. It's already on the works. And the design for the skate park was already approved. So we're going to move forward with the notice to proceed starting tomorrow, January 21st, 2021. And that's our highlights right now.
Any questions at this moment? No?
For the basketball court redesign at Joe Munoz, is it going to encompass any additional upgrades? I think in the past a volleyball court or tennis court was mentioned.
Yes, sir. We're gonna design that court to be multi-use. It's gonna include some striping and some surfacing, which is convenient for basketball and volleyball. It's gonna have a fence, a 10-foot fence for security. It's gonna have some regulations. So it's gonna have a schedule, lighting being considered. And it's most likely that it's going to have lighting on this base.
Like Mr. Vice Chair, that you got this. What's the holdup for the basketball completion? It's been the cement was broken, removed, and things like that for a month already.
Honestly, the holidays have been a little bit backed up on work, the company, and been waiting on the change order too, just to get it right. And since the facilities right now are closed, we're not really rushing the project, just to make sure it's sustainable and it's going to be a durable project for the community.
Thank you. Thank you. Any more questions? No? Let's move on to new business. Presentation from Special Events Division on upcoming activities and yearly tentative schedule. Lisa, Ms. Garcia.
Good evening, Chair and Commission. Lisa Garcia, Special Event Coordinator. Currently, we are coordinating Tuscaloosa. It is scheduled on February 6th at Council Park from 9 in the morning to 1 p.m. We are not going to have vendors, music, or anything like that. We are just going to provide the service for our community. And we are also in the works of doing multiple videos for Greater because of numbers with COVID-19. As of right now, our plan is to just have multiple videos featured throughout the month of March to celebrate the anniversary of Somerton. And for 4th of July, which we're very hopeful that we'll have some type of event, we are planning a Plan A event, which would be a kind of, practicing social distancing and having an actual event with vendors and whatnot. That would be a plan A. And a Plan B would just have an event and have a fireworks show at night. So currently, those are the events. For special events, we are hopeful that fall will be our comeback.
Questions? Okay. There is none. Let's move on to presentation from Recreation Division. Thank you, Ms. Rita Garcia.
Thank you.
Presentation from Recreation Division for upcoming activities and yearly tentative schedule. Gustavo.
Good evening, Commission. Gustavo, Recreational Coordinator. And we just want to present our schedule moving forward. We're moving forward to opening up in the summer. That is our date, which is subject to change, depending on number-wise, COVID numbers. We would continue with our normal schedule, following summer programming that we use every year. And there's a possibility if the AC unit project is completed that we have summer camp there at the community center. So we're aiming for that. We're hoping for positive change. For the summer, the Heritage Pool, right now we're working on possibly training the new lifeguard staff internally. That would be either myself, the coordinator, or the specialist certifying ourselves to go ahead and conduct that training properly. And that way we can save some type of, some revenue or whatnot in that area. So we can be more involved with the facility and with the staff. We would begin programming for swimming lessons and open swim April through May. That way we could be ready as soon as the end of school year and all that begins. And we would continue with the normal summer programming from the past, which would include our Fridays, our Friday events at the pool, and continue with possibly keep renting out the pool if there's a positive change with COVID numbers. And for rec activities, now that Brisa mentioned Greater Days, we're working on a scavenger hunt, and we want to make it as recreational as possible as we possibly can. The scavenger hunt, we would use our common areas here around our town, our city, which would be like our Centennial Park, our John Munoz, and we would instruct to have a competition of three to four participants per team, and all this would be family oriented, and we want to boost the pride of Somerton through this activity. This activity will be promoted throughout the end of February, beginning of March, and it would go through March. It would go throughout the month of March, and we want to add a recreational site to it by emphasizing, get out there and bike ride to these locations that we're going to designate for walk, jog, skate, etc. We want to have that recreational feel to it. Jesus was talking about the Joe Munoz basketball project. We did receive the backboards and rims for that project, so we're good to go on that. And for our cultural center, we're currently looking to recruit staff that are artistically oriented. So if you guys know of anybody that, I know you work at the school, and if you guys know of anybody that would want to come help us out, in the artistic area, so we can promote more programs for our cultural center. Right now, that's all we have, and if you guys have any questions.
Any questions from Pendula? I do have a question here from your proposal to reopen the activities on the summer. If everything was okay, what is the summer going to look like? What events, what sports?
Well, obviously we have swimming lessons going on. What we have programmed is, and we have this in the past, was with kickball for the summer, and youth soccer as always, and hopefully baseball towards the end of the summer. And we also have other activities like T-ball, girls softball, and flag football. But we want to make sure that we can, we can get some of these activities running. And if everything goes good, we'll go ahead and continue adding more and more activities, depending on our time frame. So we're going to go with the usual because it's what's worked in the past, and we just want to push on those activities so we can get more participation from the youth.
Also, that's my attention, the AC issue. We've been pushing for this for many years. So when do you expect the AC for the year will be actually finalized?
The AC is going to be ready for the summer. I mean,
We're still working on it?
Yeah. The tentative date for completion would be in May. So it's bound to be ready for the summer. The only, you could say, challenge it's going to be, of course, the quarantine, the pandemic. That's going to basically decide our programming. Besides that, the activity that we're putting together is going to be part of a socially distant activity for greater days, but try to get the people at least safely get out and go around town in smaller groups and stop and go type of stations that would promote the history of Somerton. At that component to it, we're going to try to get involved the Historic Society of Somerton and get some type of history that promotes the heritage and the anniversary of Somerton, which is the main component of this festivity. And of course, Lisa's working another activity, have a nice heritage, historic type video, which promotes the pioneers of Somerton. We make a presence of, but since we're not going to be able to do a regular festivity. And so that's what we're working on. Like I mentioned, it's bound to be subject to change and to be modified because of this situation. But right now we're looking into the summer, hopefully to start doing some programming. It's most likely going to be modified. It's not going to be as usual, so there's going to be some changes on the rules and regulations. And like I mentioned, it hasn't been confirmed, so we're going to be looking at the situation, and if we're able to move forward, it's most likely going to start in the summer. We're looking into starting in the summer.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Mr. Duran?
No, I don't have anything. I don't have anything, but Joanne was trying to, that she didn't receive her the email, so I resended her, so she should be joining us any second.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah. She's actually,
She's waiting for you. Yeah, she's waiting to be let in.
She's been waiting for a few minutes already. But she's trying to get into it, and she's not able to connect with her Zoom. Okay, if there's no more questions from either of the members or the audience, so let's move on with item number 4. Discussion of 5 Somerton Parks, open seats of Somerton Parks and Recreation. And I believe it's gonna be
Good evening, Commission members. Just an update on this situation. Our plan, we have in our list to move forward with that flyer just promoted. I would like to just discuss with the Commission if we're going to move forward with promoting the 5 seats, what's going to be the plan, if the Commission wants to stay with that format or if we want to make a change. So I able to format that flyer, their promotional material correctly.
My token into that is, I noticed that it's been really, really hard for the Commission to actually have the 9 members at one point. As a matter of fact, I don't remember in one single meeting.
Yeah, no, even though it's been open to 9 members, it's never been fully, well, actually, I take it back, it's been fully staffed for 1 month, for 1 meeting, and even then, the person did not attend in person. After that meeting, the person just disappeared off the face of the earth. And then from there on, it just progressed, and we lost people for one reason or another. But yes, no, going back to Chairman Vasquez's question, I know we've never had a full commission, at least the full 19 still.
So it would be great to actually promote it, but we need to actually think about if we're going to stay with. We can actually change to 7 or even 5, but definitely there is some thought that we need to put into it in order to continue, working together with the city, with the parks, people with you and everybody else, because right now we're so blessed that we actually have forum. Okay, so if this is, we need to do something at least to get finance. I mean, at least to move it to 5. And if it was like in a situation that it took for me so long, I applied actually for the commission's position back in, I made my letter like May, June, I remember, but it was not until December when the council finally took action to it. So the question is, what do you think is holding behind? Did anyone have actually responded to, in writing, would like to join the commission, or there is no one at this moment that you have?
Nobody has shown interest yet. I'm really starting with the promotion by the end of this month or early February would be ideal. Just to start promoting the open seats, and I mentioned that depends on what the commission wants to see, what format the commission wants to follow, and believes ideal. As Commission Vice Chair Cervantes mentioned, we've never had a full team or commission of the 9 members, and it's a little bit harder to get a quorum at times if you're formatted to 9. Really the seven member commission would be more ideal, but that depends on what the commission wants to see and how it wants to move forward.
I vote for the 7.
At the same time,
I motion. Sorry.
also, based on the numbers, I think I have seen 7 members. I can see it right here. Okay. So I think seven will be much better, and it's easier for us to reach if we set the goal, having 3 new members rather than those 5. I mean, if we're struggling for just 1 more, imagine getting 5 more.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that based on past history, I mean, even with previous Parks and Rec staff, there was no interest by the community for whatever reason. Chairman Vasquez is our last addition, the newest member. Unfortunately, his nomination sat for whatever reason for several months, which is another item that needs to be kind of addressed. People are showing that motivation or, I guess, curiosity to join the commission, that it shouldn't be placed on the back burner, because then eventually people lose interest. You need to actually act there and then while people actually have that interest. Not to say that other stuff won't come up later on, but at least give them that opportunity rather than them submitting a letter of interest and then it being 3, 4 meetings later, 5 meetings later before they're actually given an opportunity to make their case before the council, if anything. Because one thing we need to remember as well, our modification will have to go before city council so they can update the ordinance that established the commission. So it would be revising the current one that listed 9 seats back down to 7, which I think was the original number. And it does make it more reasonable as far as having a quorum. But based on our own bylaws, we at least need 2/3 of commission members to be present. And of course, the higher the number, the higher the number that'll be needed for a quorum. So I think 7 is a reasonable number as presented by Commissioner Israel.
And I think the idea of the council was great, to help us with we have more participation, but as we have seen in the past 14, 16 months, the participation is almost, they're willing to join our vaccination is almost done. And I remember when we did the Christmas lights right here, one of the people, the attendees there, he actually spoke to me and I said, yeah, go for it. The only thing you have to do is just write a statement, and he was really into it. And then I don't know what happened. I lost contact. And Joanna, I believe you had actually someone that you wanted to also you brought along one of these few months ago. And she was kind of interested in joining us, and I tried to also say, hey, yeah, we need you here. But then I lost track also of it. So we can actually, I would like to set this for later discussion and to pass this to the city council for them to actually, if they want to adopt the new changes that we can make, to move from 9 to 7. And then in that case, you can actually help us, with internal promotions for those 3 open seats.
We would be glad to assist with the outreach and promoting. We would try to reach out to the instructors, say cultural center, where we have people that are very involved in recreation and parks and recreation in general, and coaches, and that might be an interest for them, especially right now in this situation. They might want to have a say in what happens with recreation and with parks and rec in general, and people that will be involved and help the commission and the department in general.
And I think as a lot of the new initiatives come into play, it'll be twofold. It'll assist with the rebranding and reimaging of the Parks and Rec department, and also assist in and I guess reminding the community that Parks and Rec isn't just about sports. There's more to the Parks and Rec department, including art, culture, and other programs that are different than, or yes, different is the right word, from hitting a ball, playing basketball, baseball, whatever it is. It's not just for, I guess not to sound horrible, but for your athletic, there are other aspects to Parks and Recreation. Because I think that's one of the items that may be preventing some individuals from maybe showing interest, is that they think they need to have a background in sports. I myself do not have a background in sports. Marvel at it, plus I get bored easily. But I mean, we need more individuals that have different backgrounds and different points of view to assist in decision making. So as I mentioned, I think the rebranding of Parks and Rec as it's moving forward, it will assist with that.
Yes.
So it's no longer just seen as, oh, those are the baseball, basketball people. No, there's more to it. As we add more programs, it'll hopefully grow into something better and bigger and better.
To actually go along with Vice Chair Cervantes, on my first few months, I actually felt like I didn't belong here because most of the discussion was about the discontent with the rules of baseball, and as Cervantes said, I'm not a sport person, okay, and I'm very bad at sports. But little by little, somehow I managed to start getting along with everybody. So I wonder if our last year, the people who actually show interest, they saw that there was this going on, and they say, I don't want to be part of it. Okay. So I think we have a new phase, and I believe we're working really good right now. But yes, definitely we need more support from the public, you know, having a strong commission to help you get whatever you want to get. So I would like to say, as I said, you know, discuss this more in the next meeting to see if we can actually present something to the city council for them to help us with the changes that we want to make.
Yeah, I agree in the comments. I mean, that's part of our work plan, and start expanding. You could change the image of the department, so it's more than just baseball and soccer. Not to degrade any activity, sport. I like both of the sports, but it encompasses more the cultural aspect, the maintenance, the quality of life in general. Families gathering at parks and enjoying their life a little bit more, unwinding. It all encompasses of what we do and why I am here and why we are here to serve as a community. But like Mr. Magru mentioned, we are looking for an art teacher. That's where we want to tap into immediately, into the cultural side. Start promoting the arts and the crafts and music a little bit more. As I mentioned, Mr. Vasquez, Commission Chair, and Commission Member Duran, being part of the district, it would be helpful to have some recommendations and just let us know some sources or some references for art teachers, and invite them if they want to be part of the art program once we're able to go back to the programming, and why not be part of the commission? Have somebody that has that background in arts and crafts and all that cultural aspect. It would be great to add a different component to it, and maybe somebody in landscaping and all that would help us out with the parks. We'll spread out the word once we decide. So do I wait? Am I in the right channel? Just wait for next meeting to decide what we're going to do, or do I include it on the agenda to be reviewed by council as soon as possible?
Include an agenda to be reviewed by council as soon as possible would be my suggestion. What do you guys think?
I agree with you, because we need to have at least one more, but 7 will be the magic number. I have seen the 7 of us in Madison Forum. We've been very lucky that I don't remember any cancellation for the last forum, right? That's probably once in the last 14 months.
Yeah, in the last year, I mean, and kind of building off of that, I mean, the irony to having 9 seats that were never fully filled is that going past 1 year ago, we didn't have enough commission members show up to begin with. So, I mean, once again, it goes back to that, the higher the number, the more of an issue it becomes because you're left with bigger gaps. Whereas if you wrangle it back in, it becomes easier to have a quorum. So yeah, I mean, I'm in total agreement with what the chairman and commission members have stated. I mean, we should at least broach the subject with the council officially, since it'll require a change to the ordinance that established the Parks and Rec.
May I request just as backup, like a statement from the commission? Might be convenient if it comes from the commission chair or however the commission feels more convenient. Just to have it as backup too, I can add it to the agenda. Just a small statement, and so I can add it once it's once I'm able to present it to the commission, and maybe have a commission member there once you're able to present it to the council, to city council.
I definitely, yes, I understand your point. As Commissioner Secretary Extra mentioned, you know, the sooner the better. So at this point, I guess it will be the wish of the Commission to also move the membership numbers from 9 to 7, because we would like to secure for, you know, future meetings. Has been a problem for the Commission to actually get the 9 members as the wish of the council. So with that in mind, I think we can fulfill that vision if we have actually 7 members. Easier for smaller number, but still a very good number. In matters of order, I think by having 7 members, we can secure that we have a monthly meetings or as needed with the board.
Yeah, we should be able to add this item to the first meeting of February or the second one, I imagine. So if I have the statement, I'll add it, and I can add it as an attachment to this item for backup.
Okay, so the statement will be in the basically what I said is, I believe this conversation is in the order. So, you know, it's our wish to secure a quorum by having that match number 7. So we need the support of the city council.
Yeah, and I think to add to what's needed, I think we should have probably an official letter signed by the commission chair and stating that actually 2 things. I think we should put it to a vote, just so it's official on our side, now that we do have a quorum at this point. And then after that, move forward with the official letter that's signed by the commission chair, showing that we have already had our internal discussion and would like this to be seen, or at least considered by council for approval at their next available meeting.
Unlike the motion that Vice Chair Mr. Cervantes has made, if we can have actually the motion state that we need to send a letter to our city council members to actually help us move the membership from 9 to 7. Is that basically your motion? Okay.
I'd like to second that motion.
Okay, so it has been second. Let's vote. Everyone in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Sorry,
Joanna?
aye. Sorry, that's
Okay.
Joanna saying aye.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Duran, are you there?
Yes, I said aye.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, David. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so Jesus, I'll meet with you then too. kind of a draft a letter, and then you will take it from there. That's what I want.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna contact you. Okay. Okay. And with that in mind, let's move on to item number 5, update on the Commission Year of the Month program. That's myself. I did actually, I hope you receive the pictures that I sent to you in matters of our last applicant that wanted to be part of the program on the Year of the Month. I spoke to them both, the husband and wife of that property, and they were extremely happy, excited, and they said, hey, if my neighbor actually got the Year of the Month, why not? So it was like an inspiration of the whole, that if they can do it, we can do it. So they've been working on the yard. They unfortunately said, you know what, I'm afraid that you're not going to have the best pictures because it is winter and a lot of their plants are not, they don't look very, very green. I have seen the property, during the months of March, April. It looks beautiful. They have this, they take care of that. Both of them are retired, and they take very well care of their yard. So if you receive that, I sent them yesterday. I posted 4 pictures. And this is good. I mean, the way that we're communicating right now, I think is perfect. So I sent it to everyone that was in our link. Joanna, do you receive the pictures?
Yes, I did. Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And Juan, you are also in our link, am I right?
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Mm-hmm. Okay. So then the question is, how do we go from here?
Well, we did take a look at it, and we believe that the department's a good candidate for Yard of the Month. Maybe to start off the year and launch it with a candidate and a winner, and go from there. Because as you mentioned, it's going to be a domino effect. People are starting to take a look at it, and it should start boosting.
The story, actually, I didn't know how they actually because both of the owners of the property, they're actually retired. And their daughter, actually, when she was driving, she saw the signage that it's Maria, or current holder of the Year of the Month. We have a signage posted outside the property. So she saw the signage, and she went into the city of Somerton official website, and she read about the parts of exclamation, and she actually was the one who actually did the application and everything. So the fact was happening. How do you ended up actually in the Year of the Month program? And I said, well, my daughter, she saw the signage that was posted outside in Maria, and she went there, and we actually opened the webpage, and she told us, oh, Daddy, you have a beautiful young woman to apply for it. And that's what they did. And hopefully the more we continue with this, now it will be an event that it will be every month. It's my dream to see more applicants in our community, the yard. So, but we need to start somewhere, and I think we're in the good start right now. I don't know, by any chance, do you have the name, the pictures, but I didn't ask them for names, the name of the owners of the property. Do you have something? Or do you have okay. Thank you, Vice Chair Jesus Cervantes. The name of the Diaz Yanet. The owner of the property is Yanet Diaz. This property is located in Somerton, and it's located in the Fern Street in Somerton. I don't see the address. Okay, there you go. So the owner says, I think the person who actually filled the application is Janet that's the daughter. So the owners of the property is Hector and Graciela Figueroa, that is correct. And I would like to actually make a motion for the owners of this property to be the recipients of the Yard of the Month, which the yard is located at 506 Fern Street, Somerton, Arizona. So once again, 506 West Fern Street, Somerton, Arizona. I'm sorry, but I didn't know this for discussion. So any questions, comments about the Yard of the Month?
No, I'll second the motion.
Okay. Since I presented a motion and Mr. Duran seconded the motion, anyone in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay. Anyone opposed? Well, that's carried. That's it. Okay. Thank you. So, Jesus, who's gonna contact Ms. Graciela and Hector, for example? The signage, do you want me to collect the signage that is already on the property of Maria? And then I can have it at my home, or I can give it to you, or it's up to you. What would you like to do?
If we, the commission was to, say, keep the sign.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Better to avoid the confusion that's going to be had.
Perfect. So then on, the plaque will be ready for, the little certificate.
Yeah.
For next month or next meeting or how?
For next meeting.
Mm-hmm.
To be ready for next
So we can present it to
Yes.
them. Perfect.
But, how does the commission want to?
The certificate can be presented at any time, just so they don't have to wait a full month, since they are the Yard of the Month for January. So they'll be the Yard of the Month from January the 20th to February the 20th. So the certificate can be issued anytime. So that's why we don't have them waiting.
Okay. And since you already have the format and everything, so then please contact me and I can be there also when you're ready to present the certificate. What I'm going to do, I'm going to collect the signage that is already in the property of the previous Yard of the Month and have it ready for you and to present it to the new Yard of the Month.
Yes, so certificate be named to, Figueroa family?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be for Mr. Hector and Mrs. Graciela Figueroa.
And we're gonna need someone to actually take pictures. Last time, what did you know? What to take picture? What
Yes, sir, graphic design,
Yeah.
Vanessa.
was so beautiful, well taken.
We can coordinate and schedule something with her.
Mhm.
How does the commission want to move forward with the communicating with the Yard of the Month? Do we have a system? Is that something that the commission wants to manage or us as a department?
Right now, you mean like the nominations?
Yeah, just to notify the winner and all that.
Oh, yeah, I think it's a dual, or it was supposed to be dual between the commission and Parks and Rec staff. I think for the most part, the commission takes the lead as far as moving of the signs and stuff. The only assistance we need from the city, at least from my understanding, would be for the PR side, the taking of the picture and posting it. And the certificate, of course, the printing of the certificate. Yeah, because the nomination portion is fully automated now. So anytime anybody submits a nomination, it'll automatically send it out to everybody just like this last one.
Any more questions? For item number 5? If we have none, let's move on to current events, updates, and recommendations for agenda items for the next meeting by Commission Chairman, Commission members, and or Parks and Recreation staff and directors. So let's start with Commissioner Member Juan Duran. Any recommendations for the agenda next month?
No, I don't have any right now. Thank you.
You're welcome. Commissioner Secretary Joanna Ezra, any items for next month in the agenda?
I think I would like to request the item to address our vaccinations and the continuum of the CDC guidelines addressing the pandemic within our community. Like what I'm referring to are the commercials, like the PR that was being done by the city of Somerton, the city council that Jesus was heavily involved in, where they would promote like wearing the mask and all those kinds of things with the CDC guidelines. I would like to see that like doing that again right now due to the pandemic, and include the vaccinations, educating our community about the importance of the vaccines.
Okay, thank you. So basically, an update on the city's behalf of what is happening with the COVID and the CDC working together.
Well, I was thinking like, I guess the question is right now, if we can push for that. I don't know if we need, I'm not sure exactly how we need to process this, because I know that last time that I brought it up about, advertising the safety of wearing masks and social distancing and all that. I know that Jesus made it happen and got city council involved in everything. So my question is, I guess right now, I want it as an item, yes, but I'm not sure if it'll be a follow-up of like, or a planning of it. I don't know.
I don't see a problem with the request. Very valid. I just want to say that at this moment, I think I don't want to say more than anyone else here right now, but I lost my mom due to COVID 2 weeks ago.
Oh, so, very sorry.
Yes, I'm glad that you're bringing this, because there's still a lot of people that don't believe. I have seen the stores, even here locally, main store, people just pretending to wear a mask and not following through, and no one cares because they're afraid that they're gonna, I guess, answer back to whatever they want to. But at least to include in our commission page, steps how to simple steps how to stay safe and not get COVID, by washing your hands and all that stuff. So definitely, if we can actually have something like that for discussion next week.
I agree, and I agree to the comments, and we'll do our best to keep doing that educational outreach and just informing the public to I mind if we work on some kind of promotional material again, and basically don't drop your guard kind of thing.
Okay.
All the things it's a new year, things are getting better, but there's still a lot of issues and a lot of unfortunate situations happening. And so it comes to my mind, we could involve some kind of a recreational activity. So I mentioned dropping your guard, maybe involving one of the cultural center programs, which is boxing, which involves some defense and guard, and maybe get some of the council members involved with it, or the mayor, and basically promoting keep your distance and don't drop your guard, because this thing is still affecting all of our society and the whole world.
And unfortunately, watching the news last night, the health experts are saying that the worst is still to come. It's not over yet, even with the vaccination still going to get worse before it gets better.
Just want to mention that vaccination, that's something I'm not to review with legal, because since the city doesn't have like an ordinance or an order that we mandate even staff to actually take the vaccination, it might be complicated to actually promote it.
No, but at least I guess the Joanna's request is very valid. Educating rather than forcing, and
Yes.
that's what we need to do. If we actually do something like this together, commission members, city council, mayor, city staff, put in that don't put your guard down video, that would be great. It's kind of a unified voice that, hey, we need to wear the mask, we need to wash our hands, we need to use sanitizer, many things we can. We need to help each other. We need to stick together into this in order to minimize the negative effects of
Yes.
this.
Yes, and I
agree.
want to add that I've been following the Yuma government page, and they're posting, the vaccination rounds, who's starting when, and when are they starting vaccinations, what day, when can you register, that kind of thing. They're promoting it just like we should promote it. And what I'm thinking is that as Somerton City, we should be educating and promoting as well, and maybe even better than that.
Okay.
Just like we did the mask, the wearing the mask and social distance. I thought that was very, very good in relating to our community, where there was videos made of that. I think they were excellent. And I can see something like that being very beneficial.
Very valid points, and I'll review it and have an update by next commission meeting.
Thank you. Vice Chair?
Yeah, it'll be the reschedule of the previous item. It has to do with our social media and our digital footprint. The commission approved a purchase of updating our website services to a professional level, rather than having our current providers' subdomain added to our domain. So that's still in progress. So it'll be an update on that to see where we're at, and any updates to the page. I know the page has kind of fallen to disarray for the most part, but not that bad. The only thing is it still has the old census information, but that'll be removed tonight. But no, that'll be my item: the social media and website update for the commission. And then another item, well, maybe not so much a item for new business, but maybe a follow-up with Public Works regarding the path lighting on Somerton Avenue between Main Street and Centennial Park. Lighting doesn't seem to be working. It hasn't worked for several weeks now. At one point, the automated lighting was working, but it wasn't turning on till like 9:30 at night, which kind of defeats the whole purpose.
That, and of course, another item that's been brought up is some of the signage on the poles. It's still the old census information, and there was still some holiday stuff hanging as well. So I think that's more of a discussion item for Public Works than us, but I thought I'd bring it up. But besides that, I have nothing else.
Thank you, Mr. For me, I want to say, first of all, thank you to the parks staff for actually working on the John Munoz Park. Today, I decided to actually ride my bike in the park. Usually, I go to Yuma for maybe walking there. And this is the first time that I don't actually poke my head with the branches of the mesquite trees there. So the park right now seems to be in a very good condition, at least for the height of the mesquite trees. One of the items, I don't know, we can you give us an update on the Heads Park? What is it called? The dog park or Pets Park, or what is it named?
Dog park.
Dog park. Okay. I kind of I took the not the liberty, but I found the necessity to actually trim some of those branches, since I live very close to just a few blocks from there. That I thought it was kind of a dangerous. Okay, so can you give us an update on the dog park?
Sure.
The next meeting, please.
Sure.
And if you need volunteers to help you during a Saturday, let me know, so at least I can help, or my kids, or we'll see. Let's work something that can be really drive to that. And also, I noticed there's a lot of leftovers from usually going back to educating the public. We need to educate that they need to pick up after their dog. If there is a lot of leftovers there that we need to take care of, so we can help it clean again.
Sure. Yeah. Just want to mention that we are gonna move into the maintenance and for the dog park next week, and I'll have an update for the next meeting. Mr. Commission Vice Chair Cervantes, you mentioned the lighting, just to make sure I have the information. You mentioned between Centennial Park and
Main Street. So it'll be the path that runs, at least the segment that runs by the apartment complex. I think it's like El Jardín Apartments, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's where the lighting doesn't seem to be working. It's been off for several weeks now.
Staff or direct? Any items for the agenda?
provide an update on the projects going on right now, and an update to the commission for next meeting.
Before we close, any questions? Well, it is 7:01. Since we don't have any more questions, let's adjourn this meeting. Thank you very much.
See you guys.